Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. We are off to Hong Kong for today's daily challenge, which will give us double tunnels and double traffic lights. That is lovely, but we will begin with a bridge because we got boats. Remember boats? We got the ferry path coming in here. We have the ferry coming in, dropping off passengers right here. We need to bridge over that away. Thankfully, the ferry does not have to deal with the bridge. I don't know, what would it be like a what do you call those weird double bridge things? I don't know.
Hear ye, let the record show that this viewer was here first.
Peter S. was here first. Peter S., what do you call those bridges that open? I feel very stupid right now. Hold on. I can't think of the name for those weird bridges that open. You know what I mean. I'm not a crackpot. I'm sort of a crackpot right now. Oh, God. They're not cantilevered. Why is the word cantilever in my head? I don't think they're cantilevered. I don't think that's the word for which I'm looking, but I don't know what the word is. Weird expanda bridges, the ones that open and close, and you know what it got. All right, it's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna go on with our lives. We're gonna drop a roundabout right here so as not to have to deal with also weird red nonsense. There's a theory on the internet that goes, if someone is acting as if they don't know a very obvious thing in a video on the internet, it's because they want, yeah, it is. Is it a drawbridge? No, like a drawbridge is you're a castle and there's a moat, right? You've got a moat in front of the castle and you have a drawbridge which you can lower from the castle to cover the moat, and then people walk across the drawbridge and they get into your castle. This is a different thing. What I'm talking about is the thing where you're on. Is that still a drawbridge? I don't think that's a drawbridge. That may or may not be the word. We're gonna do this. Eventually, in the fullness of time, this will be a perfectly cromulent traffic light. For the moment, it's just there. But like, a drawbridge is that you're a castle and there's a moat and you lower the drawbridge and people walk across it and they cross the moat and then they're in the castle and you raise the drawbridge. What I'm talking about is there's a bridge over water, right? And the boat has to go across the movable bridge. Fuck you, Google. It's not right. It's incorrect. We're taking traffic lights just so I can do this. This red here will go into the southern spur of this roundabout and therefore become the primary support for this circle business. What I'm talking about is there's a bridge over water and there's boats that got to go through the water because they're boats. And so you stop the car traffic on the bridge and you just fold the bridge back or something. There's a hypothesis or a popular conception among people that when people on the internet, in YouTube videos and such, apparently there just isn't a term for the kind of bridge I'm talking about. Vertical lift bridge. I mean, yeah, those sound like words that describe what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I mean, a vertical lift bridge is vertically lifted, which, yeah. I mean, a vertical lift bridge would work here. My point is, I don't remember my point. Let's take a motorway. The boat route. Nope, hold on. The boat route, there you go, terminates here, meaning that we can bridge here, but we can't bridge here. Like, I can't draw a road going this way. That is, in fact, one very busy roundabout. This is not... It has rat-like tendencies, doesn't it? It doesn't seem amazing how we're kind of relying on... Yeah, okay. I can make it better. I can definitely make it better. Hold on. Here. Let's take motorway number 1 for these oranges here. And I think it's time to maybe make some concessions to reality, by which I mean we're going to do this. This is actually going to be very helpful, what we're about to do here. We're going to kill this traffic light because it's not going to need to exist anymore. We're going to kill this entire bridge. By killing this entire bridge, I am then empowered to take these 6 fellas. We're also going to kill the northern spur of this roundabout. We're going to draw motorway number 2 up over here. So now these 6 red houses come over this way. They motorway number 2 themselves into this business. And once this bridge debridgifies itself, which it has presently done, we're going to draw a nice little Goog. Draw the road straight, Goog. There you go. All right, so this bridge diagonalates itself down to here. And these 2 red, fuck you. Can I get one more heavy sigh? I think we can get one more heavy sigh. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. So some pretty heavy sighs, but needed to be done. All right. So this business has gone circular, which is probably fine. It sure seems okay to me. Let's run this down here. The 4 of you will serve that. The 4 of you will serve that. Meanwhile, these 2 blues will come this way into this business. That'll be just fine. Toss this orange off that away. If I get another orange here and then again a bridge, I'll be able to bridge these 2 oranges here and reclaim that motorway. But, you know, one problem at a time. Oh, look, a problem. Okay. So this business being green is not horrible, but it certainly isn't great. I don't love that this business has become this color, but it is what it is at this point, and there's very little we can do about it. So we're just gonna kind of go with it. Now, fortunately, these 2 here are closer to this, and these 4 are closer to this. So I don't think there's going to be much in the way. Well, hey, you remember when I was saying that I could kill motorway number 1 and I can bridge these 2 oranges and we can come down here? Yeah, we can do all of that. We can do every last piece of that. And as part of doing every last piece of that, we realized that we can't actually sneak a road through here without fucking with stuff. So, balls. Yeah. All right. Let's point all y'all off that away, and you loop in here. And then once this motorway demotorizes itself, which will happen as soon as this car goes away, this car comes through here. We wait for this. You go off that away, and waboosh. Okay. So now the 6 of these oranges, the 6 of these oranges are going through the roundabout, down here, and into the southern end of this double plaza in order to serve the interests of this business. Is that good? Details. Let's see. Hello there, second blue. I don't particularly like you, but I know what we're gonna do for you, so that's something. We're gonna redraw motorway number 1, going off that away. That'll be fine. This blue here, kind of awkwardly positioned, doesn't really have anything going for it. gonna kind of leave this house open and available for stuff, I think. So yeah, these 4 greens, right? Hi. Oh, I didn't see you there. You're very convenient, actually. I like you a lot. I also sort of like yous guys. Because yous guys being here means, I bet, let's take, tunnels are nice and good and important and all, but motorway. So we're going to take a motorway. I bet if I disconnect these greens from here, they'll stop spitting dudes out this way. And these 3 greens here will now become primary support for this without actually sending their things through and over to here. So that'll just be good. It's the word we're looking for. The word we're looking for is good. Okay. Something just happened, didn't it? Did something just happen? No, I think we're just fine. We dealt with these minty greens. Sort of. Like, I don't absolutely... Well, I also don't absolutely love that you're a circle now, but, you know, that is what it is. I feel like this business might be about to round itself given the additional blue spawnage that's happening over here. But we'll deal with that when we deal with that. Speaking of things we'll deal with when we deal with them, we have this orange business here, which is now presently dealt with. I'm going to point this one north. Ooh. Okay. You being blue means that it's probably time to grab a couple Blueskys and just draw motorway number 3. Yeah, let's just draw that. That seems like a good idea. Draw motorway number 3 straight down here. There's a red house hiding. There is. Oh, right. You should point that away. Thank you. I knew this guy was here, but I didn't realize that it could also just staple itself there and thereby support that business. So you 3 support that. You 2 support that. These 3 blues feel as though they should be more useful than they are, but they're not presently useful. So it's finally getting on tunnel time, I think. This business is going to be fine until, well, the end of time, maybe. But, well, definitely not the end of time. But hopefully it'll be fine until we get some... Oh. Hi. Oh! Hi! Who put you fuckers over there? Oh, that's a bad place for fuckers. Bad place for fuckers is probably not a good title for an episode, honestly. Let's see. We'll take a bridge. All right. Well, darn. Let's see here. See, if I had a tunnel, and I've had numerous opportunities to take a tunnel, so the fact that I don't have a tunnel is entirely on me. But if I had a tunnel, I would tunnel in the morning. No, I would take these oranges here, and I would just tunnel them straight through here. You'd have a road that comprised 90% of tunnel, and it would be lovely. But I don't. So, we're gonna have to do some temporary bullshit. I cannot emphasize enough how temporary this bullshit is. But for now, we're gonna ask all of these oranges over here to do some double duty. Meanwhile, we're going to take these white houses and figure out how bad. It is too bad that I am not a football/soccer fan. The final of the Africa Cup of Nations yesterday was legendary. I knew just barely enough to know that it was the Africa Cup of Nations. There was like a major underdog in it, I think. I don't know, man. See, I'm sure we've had this conversation on the channel before. This is the 851st episode of Good Morning Mini Motorways. After all, by the way, thank you to everybody for helping me hit the nice semi-important round number that is 850. Holy crap. We've done 850 of these. 851 now. What was my point? My point was I like soccer. I enjoy soccer. It is a good, fun sport to watch. The problem that I run into is I've never been a huge nationalism guy. So like the World Cup and things like that don't really appeal to me because like, what am I going to do? Root for my country? Have you seen my country? You're familiar with my country, right? It's this one. The one what's hosting the next World Cup. And really, hey, free idea for all the nations of FIFA. Fucking boycott that shit. Also, hold on. I didn't intend to say boycott like a man from Dorchester. But let's all imagine people from Dorchester saying they were going to boycott shit. Oh, good. All right. So we draw a bridge over here. This is Goog has redeemed Talk Like Your Bad Teddy Kennedy impression for as long as you feel like. So we draw this bridge here. These three blue guys will cross over this little inlet. They get over here. They get into that thing. That'll be cool. This orange fuck down here, kind of fucked. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to the Star Market. We're gonna... I don't know, actually. Let's think. Good productive think session. What next? This circle. I don't know anything about what we're going to do about this, but I did just spy something else that I could do that's different. So we're going to focus on that for a second. We're going to chop these two blue houses, and we're going to move motorway number 3. That way these two blue houses serve this business via motorway number 3. That then also frees up these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue houses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to serve this blue circle, which is better than having 3 of them do that. That's ridiculous. Okay, now back to the problem of this. Good morning, Samurai Sam. Yeah. So we do have a problem, and as Peter correctly notes, waiting for Sunday, not really an option. It is presently Monday. It is Monday. We just got the thing. So, yeah, we're in bad times. Okay. Let's run this over to here. We'll reconnect. We'll disconnect this orange business. And we'll peel here as I had previously intended to. No, Sam, I do not intend to roll over and die. You come here. You can either change my hair color or we can do puppy play, but we're not doing both. I will not roll over and die. Let's see here. Okay. You wanted like 3 bridges per week. Yeah, I believe that. I can't. You're not gonna let me bridge. Like I can't bridge from here at all, right? Well, I don't have any bridges, so even if I had bridges, I couldn't bridge. Can't bridge across this. So, and we can't bridge like through this. So, hi there, this one red house. How much do I trust these 2 red houses to keep this circle going for a minute? Actually, I kind of do trust those 2 red houses to keep that circle going for a minute. Listen, I'll pay you back. I owe you 1 motorway. Signed the _Goog. It'll be fine. So I never really got into like nationalistic soccer, which means like the World Cup doesn't have a ton of appeal to me. And also, you know, if I'm gonna follow a professional league, it's gonna be the it's gonna be the Premier League, just because I'm not here learning languages. Like, there was a time in my life when I would be up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I would randomly watch a soccer game on like Univision or Telemundo because it was 1 o'clock in the morning and there was nothing else on. That time in my life has passed. Unfortunately, if So if I'm gonna watch, yeah, we were just talking about how people should fucking boycott that shit. I legitimately, let's send jokes out of the room for a moment. Jokes, we'll bring you back in a moment here. Folks, y'all should fucking boycott the World Cup. Y'all should not come here. Don't come to this country. What are you, stupid? You see what's happening. We have cameras. They haven't turned off the internet yet. I don't think they're gonna do that, but, you know, don't come to this fucking country. What are you, stupid? Don't come to this country. I'm just gonna keep asking people if they're stupid when they suggest that they from another country are gonna come to this one. Listen. There are countries that I would rather be here than in, but it has now been 0 days since the Goog reference to the horrors. Yeah, it's probably a good counter to have, Sam. It's Peter S.'s fault. He referenced the African Cup of Nations. Okay. All right. This green over here can hop onto that business. We got back the motorway that I promised these reds, and I also added a house worth of VIG. So Tony Soprano will be very happy with me. YouTube Shorts has started showing me The Sopranos, which is much better than, like, other things YouTube Shorts has recently shown me, such as every fucking commercial being either for or made with AI. Yeah. But, you know, the clips from The Sopranos I greatly enjoy. That Christopher Moltisanti, he's one hell of a fella. I bet he's going to have a good, satisfying career arc and not randomly fucking die in a car accident or nothing. I haven't gotten to the part of the show where they foreshadow him dying in the car accident. Spoilers for the 20-year-old television program The Sopranos. Rather important side character dies in a car accident semi-randomly. Anyway. I think I'm going to add these two greens back onto this road. Hopefully. My hope here is that they don't start... Yeah, okay. It appears as though this green had immediate... Yeah, okay. They're immediately going to start serving this business if they do that, so let's not. We're also going to loop this green back around here. This business is totally fine. I'm a little bit concerned about this one. I don't have a great answer for... What on earth did I take 4 traffic lights instead of? It must have been road or something. Sam, I'm... It can. It will. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's not gonna take the entire global economy down with it because, after all, it's the global economy is a house of cards built on stilts of bullshit or anything. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, actually. Let's take a motorway. And I think I'm going to restructure motorway number 4. And by restructure, I mean whoop. We just kind of whoop motorway number 4 up over here because there are more houses this way. There are more houses this way, and you're not wrong. You're very much not wrong. Now, this business here has gone circular. That's horrendous, actually. That's very bad. If we... How best do I solve that problem? I don't know that I do. I don't know that I can. I do have a whole bunch of oranges here, not really doing anything. I could perhaps motorway them to the northern spur here. And by motorwaying them to the northern spur there, we can Huh. All right, I'm noticing that these houses here are out of cars. So, yeah, I think it's time to actually do something. Okay. These houses are going back on this road, and if they happen to go over here, then they're just going to happen to go over here, and that's going to have to be fine. Let's toss more green this way. And we'll grab these oranges, which are the ones I was actually looking for. These 5 orange houses will straight shottedly down into here. Maybe we'll do that. Is that a little bit better? Have the off-ramp not be right at the entrance and instead have a little intersection there? That seems better? Question mark. So we got that. And then we have another motorway. That's the word for which I was looking. We'll draw motorway number 7. Come all the way top of everything here. Yeah, we'll draw motorway number 7 right here and feed it into the roundabout so as to better... Actually, hold on. If we're doing that... If I'm doing that to better serve this, then I don't really want to put these cars on this road because they're just going to mess with the orange flow. I think we solved the orange problem with motorway number 6 and the developing green problem with motorway number 7, so I think we're just kind of okay. I also think I'm feeding this house up this way now because this business is in trouble. Now, granted, this business is also in trouble, but at least there are cars and driveways down here. So that's kind of fine. Kind of maybe a little bit fine. Okay. So if I was to pick a like professional team to follow, it would be one in the Premier League. And there's no great way to like watch every Chelsea game, for instance, or every Everton game that doesn't involve waking up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning and dropping whatever I'm doing at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning because I was already awake. And sometimes when I say 9, I mean 7. And also they play on like Tuesdays. I think there is Monday Night Football in England. I think they were doing they were doing football on Monday nights, and then Monday Night Football became a thing in the US, and they were like, oh, hey, we can just have a bum. Also, real quick visual thing I just noticed here. So we've got motorway number 4 here, right? It takes white cars out of their houses over to this business. I think we're actually seeing the mechanics at work when the flavor's a little off, because like flavor-wise, mechanically what we're doing is creating a basically throughput here from this on-ramp to this off-ramp, and the shape and style of the motorway doesn't actually matter, right? This is why you can just kind of wiggle and draw your motorways around so you can still see things and it doesn't actually impact your traffic flow. So mechanically, you've always known that this could happen. This is what's happening. It's just a straight line from point A to point B. But you never actually see the visual glitch. You never actually see the representation of it. The game is just so confused by the garbo nonsense that I'm having motorway number 4 do. Oh, God. You have cousins who are brothers. One is a Chelsea fan, one is a fan of Manchester United. Their dad is a Beatles fan, so he picked Liverpool. I mean, historically speaking, I think Man U is the best choice there. Recently, no. No, my understanding is that Manchester United is basically the New York Yankees of English football, and, well, it was a lot better to be the New York Yankees in, say, 1999 than in 2026. It's still good to be the New York Yankees. I'd rather be the New York Yankees than, say, the Minnesota Twins, but is hard times for Yankees fans. Also, we're going to do this and toss a PCTL right here. That'll get 2 more red houses going down here for this red business. Every business on the map has gotten mad at me, by the way. So yeah, It would be like dedicate your first thing every Saturday morning, and also my point is it's very difficult. It would be very difficult, and God knows I am not a fan of things that are difficult. This business here is mad, which is just kind of bullshit, honestly. I mean, I use traffic lights when they can be PCTLs, and that's about it. Like, I don't make suboptimal traffic lights. I think a suboptimal traffic light is worse than nothing. I also think this business just died. So, 2,635 commuters over 106 days. It sure is a thing. Drop those slams in the chat. Okay. It's top 15% in the world. It's not as good as Samurai Sam. Sadness and failure for me. Oh well. Where is the Wordle? Here is the Wordle. Cometh now the hour, cometh now the Wordle. There we go. The last 2 times I've really tried to get into a Premier League team, my qualifications have been this. 1, they have to not completely suck. Like, I'm not saying I want to pick the best team in the league or the one that recently won the title or nothing, but they have to not completely suck. If I'm going to pick a Premier League side, I don't want my very first season to be one where they're facing relegation and might go down to the championship. It's not a good start to our relationship. 2, they have to have nice-looking kits. I'm going to use as much terminology as I can here. I'm faking a lot of this. It's like, I know this is what this word means, but I don't feel comfortable saying it. But yet, they have to have a nice kit. Specifically, I'd like it if they wore blue, because blue is my favorite color. But most importantly, they don't have to look like shit. They have to not ever look like shit. And 3, they should fucking hate Liverpool. Because the last 2 times I was really seriously thinking about getting into the EPL, I was still a Red Sox fan, and John Henry, guy who owns the holding company that owns the Boston Red Sox, also owns the holding company that owns Liverpool. They are the same holding company. So I, having only child syndrome despite having 2 siblings, did not particularly care for the fact that Mr. Henry was spending hundreds of millions of dollars on things that aren't the Boston Red Sox. He should be spending that money on the Boston Red Sox, or, being violently dispossessed of it to be redistributed among the states. But since that's not happening, he may as well be spending it on the Boston Red Sox. So, in those 2 occasions, it was told to me that I should support Chelsea, who are historically good, wear blue, and hate Liverpool, and Everton, who are historically extant, wear blue, and apparently really fucking hate Liverpool. In the years since, Chelsea and Everton have both gone down the metaphorical shitter, so, the Wordle today is pitch, because that's where they play football, on a pitch. See? I know the lingo. I know the lingo is title of the episode, I guess. I don't know. I do actually have a football team whose successes I do sort of care about. I do, whenever I play FIFA or EAFC, which is what they call the games now because FIFA wanted $1 billion to put their name on them and EA said, fuck off. One of the rare times you can actually support electronic arts in something is because they told FIFA to fuck off. Another reason that you should boycott the World Cup, by the way, is that you will be telling FIFA to fuck off. And man, if I know anything about soccer, it's that everybody loves telling FIFA to fuck off. So, let's see here. The Wordle today is Rouge. That's a thing in football in Canada. Anyway. Ow. I mean, listen, Sam. No, I was going to say Major League Baseball is FIFA is more evil than Major League Baseball, and you know roughly how evil Major League Baseball is. FIFA is probably more evil than the National Football League, which, oh boy, now we're talking. FIFA's more evil than many countries. Not all of them, but anyway. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. I do have a team whose successes I care about, and that team is AFC Wimbledon. They are a third-tier English football team by the skin of their teeth, just barely clinging to being a third-tier instead of a fourth-tier English football team. Is there a certain size for organizations where evil just becomes inevitable? Sam, you're the religious one. You tell me the relationship between power and corruption, buddy. What are we doing here? The wordle today is... mushy? No, there can't be an H. There's no H. The wordle today is muddy. It could be muddy. It's not, but it could have been. And I figured out where the U goes. So yeah, because I'm a fanboy dork for people on the internet, I sort of support the football team they sort of kind of own a tiny part of. So go AFC Wimbledon. Last I checked, they were doing fine. I still don't, watch their games or anything, because, again, they're on at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon in England, which is just the worst fucking time. It's not great. Oh, Lord. Okay. The wordle today... God, it could be fuzzy. I don't want to do a double Z word. Can't it be something... reasonable? You just did waxen, Wordle. It can't be fuzzy. Okay, the Wordle today is bunny. It could be bunny. Can't it be... It could be... God damn it, it's fuzzy, isn't it? God damn it. Oh, it's not fuzzy. Okay. I suppose that's good, but also fuck. The wordle today is Sully? Sully one's reputation? Somebody put a mustache on Tom Hanks and had him recite some black box dialogue? They made a movie out of it? The wordle today is Sully. Okay. All right, fine. YouTube Shorts has basically shown me the entire movie Sully, which... Listen, the parts where he's doing the stuff that Sully did are good, intriguing, well-done parts. The parts afterwards where Mike O'Malley and Skylar White from Breaking Bad have to act as if the government was really investigating this guy so as to get over the notion that the government is bad is stupid. This is Steffi Graf. This is, in fact, Steffi Graf. This is a photograph of Steffi Graf. She's a very, very good former professional tennis player. I seem to vaguely recall there was some incident where, a fan stormed the court or something when she was playing. I think that's different from the time Monica Seles got stabbed, but it was in, the same general time frame. And also, this is when Steffi Graf was a professional tennis player, so that means this is, late 80s, early 90s. because that's when Steffi Graf was around. When I was like first growing up and like playing Pete Sampras tennis on the Sega Genesis, Steffi Graf was a going concern. Goog is in this. Goog is a person who recognizes tennis players very specifically of the early to mid 1990s. Like, okay, I think I would recognize Roger Federer in contexts where it would make sense to see Roger Federer. And like, I know who Rafael Nadal is. I'm pretty sure that if he was just like wearing street clothes, Rafael Nadal could walk up to me and say, "Hello, my name is Rafael," and I'd say, "Hi, Raf, it's good to meet you." And I would not know that was Rafael Nadal. I would recognize Andre Agassi. I do know who Andre Agassi is. Now then, so this is a photograph of Steffi Graf, which means it's and she's like in tennis gear, so she's playing tennis, and the question becomes where. And my first instinct is probably France, and this is probably the French Open. But, oh God, is Billie Jean King even alive? Like, I've heard of her. I know who she was, but I couldn't tell you what she looks like today. She's very old if she is alive. Okay, so I can't really tell much of anything. I'm just trying to figure out the where of this based on... here's another hint that we're in the early mid 1990s. This logo right here, this crocodile logo. All right, saying that someone is among the breathing is probably the weirdest way imaginable to say that someone is alive. Anyway, is your badge obstructing a Spanish flag? Could we be in Spain? Oh. I think we got something. I think we've got something. This is not at all what I expected to have. But we do have something. So my whole "this probably took place at a Grand Slam" theory has kind of gone to shit because they're in Seoul, and Seoul is not host to any of the Grand Slam tennis events. But, okay. Was there an Olympics in Seoul? There might have been an Olympics in Seoul. You'd think there would be a... Oh, is this like a national patch? Is she playing for the country whose badass flag that is? Yeah, she might be playing for the country whose badass flag that is. That's, is that Romania? I know there's a European country that has a weirdly badass flag. It might be Romania. Oh, that's Germany. Okay, well. Okay, so when were the Summer Olympics in Seoul, basically? Because we're at the Summer Olympics in Seoul, South Korea. So first of all, let's figure out the where of this. Where did South Korea go? Hold on. I'm smart. I know things. There it is. I was looking too far south. All right. So we're in or near Seoul, South Korea. Specifically, well, I would say in a tennis stadium. And listen, there probably is a tennis stadium in Seoul, and it's probably where we are. But given the Olympics, hey, you remember how we were talking about how a large organization inevitably becomes evil? The International Olympic Committee. Anyway, so given the way the IOC operates, it's entirely possible that this stadium was purpose-built for this and then killed 17 people in its construction, cost the city of Seoul the modern equivalent of $2 billion, and no longer exists because it was meant for exactly one Olympic Games and was left to rot for 15 years and then torn down. However, I feel like the IOC only really does that to impoverished South American countries and not so much South Korea. I could be wrong about all of this. I'm also going to say that we're at Seoul World Cup Stadium, even though that's a soccer thing, because fuck if I'm finding a tennis stadium here in Seoul. That's just not happening. So we are in Seoul, South Korea, right there. Sam thinks we're in New York. I don't think we're in New York. We could... listen, if we're in New York, we're probably at Arthur Ashe, which I believe is in Queens. Although Arthur Ashe Stadium didn't exist in the early 90s. On the other hand, it was built on the site of the Yeah, okay, the U.S. Open is in Queens, which is not Manhattan, and therefore only questionably New York. Now then, when were the Summer Olympic Games in Seoul? The 1996 Games were in Atlanta. This wasn't 2000. This is definitely not 2000. So this is either 1992 or 1988. I don't know which. But given the crocodile shirt, I'm going to say this is 1992. It was 1988. Oh, well. Listen, I narrowed it down to a coin flip. You take those. Playlist, is there a reason you're not... Oh, you're just playing something very, very soft. Well, fuck you, lo-fi song called Discomfort, for being very, very soft. Get the fuck off my playlist. Thing. All right. Next. Okay, we got a big old throng. Hi there, massive throng. Oh, we're at the Banco do Brasil. Okay. Banco Brasil probably means we're in Rio or perhaps Brasilia. Actually, given the whole motorcadery of this... Hold on. That's a whole bunch of American flags to be at the Banco Brasil. Now I'm confused. Is there a reason you got a whole bunch of American flags here at your Banco Brasil? Oh, you also got a whole bunch of Brazilian flags. Okay. So there's like some big Brazilian-American summit thing. Okay. All right. When and why would there be a big old Brazilian-American summit thing? Are we gonna... Okay. I feel as though... Well... I feel like there's a time that this can't be after. So... I do feel sort of good about 19 Don't Move the Thing, but I would feel better if I could pick an American president out of... Is that Richard Nixon? That cannot possibly be Richard Nixon. If there's an American president in this car, it's this guy, and that's Richard Nixon. I don't feel great about that. I really don't feel great about that. But no, these are too old to be Nixonian, but they're close. They're very close. I feel like this is the absolute latest. This is 19 Don't Move the Thing. Which probably tells me that I should move the thing. This is probably closer to... Could this be a victory in World War II celebration? Are we just triumphantly declaring victory over the Second World War in Brazil? I don't think so, but... Doesn't feel great. It feels directionally accurate, but this is sometime between 1945 and 19 Don't Move the Thing. Maybe the thing to do is split the difference. The midpoint between 46 and Don't Move the Thing would be 1954. Could this be 1954? Yeah. Honestly, this could be 1954. I don't necessarily think that it is. I think it's 19 Don't Move the Thing. Honestly. But... Hey, here's a question. Where in Brazil are we? Because, like, Brasilia's the capital. Rio's the biggest city. Sao Paulo's an enormous city. Fuck. Are you like... This is probably like the big fancy presidential HQ and we're just in Brasilia and I'm overthinking things. Like the very first thing I said was that we were in Brasilia. So let's go to Brasilia. Specifically, let's go... We are at the Catedral of Brasilia. I'm going to take the coward play and say 1954. I should have 19 didn't move the thing. God dang it. Also, it was down here. Okay. That was Richard Nixon, but he was the vice president. Fuck. God. Bastard. Okay. Well... Listen, if I had talked myself into that being Richard Nixon, I would have talked myself into Richard Nixon being the president, and I would have put it in the 70s, which would have been even further off than 1954. So it's fine. Next, hey look, an Italian flag. I'm a person who recognizes flags. Sometimes. We are at an Italian racing event. Okay. These folks here are just, man, you look at, I mean, modern rally racing for one, but you look at old time racing photos and it's like, oh, I know things that can happen that would lead to tragedy here. Oh, boys. Oh, friends. Okay. All right, let's not think too hard about that and instead focus on the cigarette sponsors on our race cars. Yeah. All right, so I don't know, man. Are we going to get an exact year anywhere? I don't think we're going to get an exact year out of this. I think we just got to kind of eyeball it. Ow, my ear. My ear. This is... Yeah, we're very much not going to get an exact location or nothing, but we're somewhere on a racetrack in Italy. Okay. So this is an Italian racetrack in 1986. This could be 1986. This could be 1992. Actually, hold on. Given the makeup of these cars, I think 1986 might have been a little bit generous. This is 1980, maybe 1977. This dude appears to be rocking an incredible fit with like a black turtleneck sweater under a red V-neck sweater. That looks pretty dope. God, man, the longer I look at these cars, the further back I want to get. Like, now I'm at 19, don't move the thing again. I think I might have overcompensated. Hold on. This is 1972. Yeah, okay. I can talk myself into 1972. Sure. We are in... Man, throw a dart in Italy, rather. Where the fuck are we? Where do they have races in the Italian countryside-ish hills? Is there a famous Italian countryside hill race I should know about? I mean, probably, but I don't think... Yeah, the sponsors on the cars aren't going to tell us much of anything. Everybody's sponsored by Ansonia. Everybody's also sponsored by Marlboro, so... Oh, man, we are in... I got nothing, friends. We are in Perugia, which is the goddamn middle of goddamn Italy. We are in the goddamn middle of goddamn Italy in 1970 goddamn 2. Huh. It was up there, northern-ish Italy, 1973. Take it. I'll take it. Not complaining. Hey, I think I have an idea as to where we might be. Just like a thought for this next one. I have an idea. So, these are the nationwide service grocers of West Danville, Vermont. We are now in this war. We are all in it all the way. Okay, which war? Probably the one most famously associated with this. So there's a nice little 4-year window for you. Governing the control seacoast lighting. Seacoast? Ooh, East Coast. Wait, there's no seacoast in Vermont. Vermont's the westy one. Damn it. Okay, so you had some proclamations. You're gonna do some defense. That's great. So this fucker has a gun. Amazing. You totally look like a fucker I wish to have toting a weapon. Are we buying war bonds? Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So let's find us a Danville. And then let's find us the western one. So we are in West Danville, Vermont in 1943? Sure. See, the problem with Vermont is there are like 6 actual cities in Vermont, and every other town in Vermont has less than 500 people. And you have to be very generous with the term actual city to get to 6 of them in Vermont. Like, we zoom out to the point where there's a Vermont in our map here, and there is 1 dot. We can just barely fit all of Vermont on screen. There are 1, 2, 3 dots. Plattsburgh's in New York. I know because I've been in this part of the world. There's a lot of hills, there's a lot of trees, there's an awful lot of farms, and there ain't much fucking else. Right. So, where, one wonders, is Danville? I found Granville. It's not in the right state, but Bernie spends most of his time in D.C., which, I mean, honestly, fair. There's Jacksonville, Vermont. I've driven through Jacksonville, Vermont. You can drive through Jacksonville, Vermont in roughly the time it takes you to say, I've driven through Jacksonville, Vermont. So, yeah, it's not a big place. There's Springfield and Leominster and Ackworth and Claremont and Perkinsville and Cavendish and Ludlow and Proctorsville and Cuttingsville and Wallingford and Mount Holly and Plymouth and Bridgewater and Rutland and West Rutland and Killington and Pittsford and Castleton and Pulteney and Fairhaven and Stockbridge and Pittsfield and Brandon and Pittsford and Rochester and Hancock and Salisbury and Whiting and Ripton and Middlebury, Weybridge and Granville and Hancock and Randolph Center, which is northeast of Randolph, 'cause that makes sense, and Tunbridge and Bethel and South Royalton and Barry and Graniteville and Williamstown and Northfield and Waitsfield and Middlesex and Montpelier and East Montpelier, which is actually east of Montpelier. Good job, East Montpelier. Fuck. And East Calais and Woodbury and Cabot and Danville. I found Danville. Fucking brilliant. Hey, look. We're right fucking there. In 1943. Yay. Oh god, there's one more of these. Okay. Hello there, riot shielding police folk. Are you being pelted with shit by a lady? Good. Good on you, lady. The lady's just pelting the cops with shit. Good for you. Which cops are these? Why are we mad at these cops? I mean, they're cops. I'm sure they did something, but figuring out where they are will help us determine what they did. I can't read their badges. These are the Polita Nasi, the police. Oh, so these are the national police. Great, amazing. Of I got nothing. Hold on. Can I cheat? Oh, I wanted to cheat. Hold control and zoom on. Wait, I can cheat. I can cheat if I zoom in. If I zoom in the web browser, I can cheat, and it's not actually helping. It's not actually helping to cheat in that manner. Okay, don't cheat, children. Cheaters never prosper, aside from all of the times they do, which isn't one of these. This isn't one of those times where cheaters prosper. Okay. So at this point, we're in somewhere in South America. Maybe. Okay. The lady makes you think Bolivia or Peru. Okay. I believe that. I can't really tell. Oh, that probably just says National Police again, doesn't it? I can't get a flag patch off of the guy. Nothing like flaggy or anything on the lady's purse. It's just a lady's purse. Okay. Well. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She doing a yeet. Man, we got fucking nothing on which to go here, do we? Okay. We, map. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, by cheating, I fucked the map. Oh, no. By cheating, fucked the map. Oh, no. Oh, no. What happens if I refresh? Okay, good. I was afraid I'd lose my score. I was also afraid I'd have to just throw a dart at the world. We are in the hills overlooking La Paz, Bolivia, of course, naturally, in 2022. Or we're in Huepete, Peru in 2014. You know, one or the other or both of those. 42,521 is a damn good time guessing score. Thank you for your help, Peta S. For today's Immaculate Grid, we need Mariners, Guardians, Cubs, Cardinals, dudes would hit 2,000 hits in their career, and first round draft picks. A St. Louis Cardinal who was a first round draft pick is, man, I don't fucking know. Rick Ankiel? Nope. A St. Louis Cardinal who was a first round draft pick is Mark McGwire? Sure. Sure, and sure. A Chicago Cub who was a first round draft pick is Dansby Swanson? Yeah, all right. See, okay, here is my process by which to guess who was a first-round draft pick. The MLB draft only drafts, for the most part, American kids. Because, like, international players have something akin to free agency and some weird scouting bullshit that means children are dropping out of middle school at the age of 12 in order to pursue professional baseball careers, and handshake deals that the clubs can rescind but the players can't without being labeled as bastards, and it's all horrible. But it's a different flavor of horrible than the MLB draft. The MLB draft is kids who are in high school and college in the United States. So, when I'm trying to think of who was a first-round draft pick, I'm trying to think of who's good and who's American. Who is a good American baseball player? Does that always work? Fuck no. Also, yes, Peter S., you received a gifted subscription as part of the subathon, and therefore have access to all of our lovely Tier 1 emotes, including, well, all the buttons I'm hitting right now. And this one, and this one, and this one. And I can't remember if that's a follower emote or a Tier 1 emote, but you have it, damn it! The OMG sign. A dated thing. Should probably get around to replacing that at some point, but you know. Maybe Jose Iglesias will retire and return as a pop star. It's possible. A dude who had 2,000 hits in his career and was I don't know, Ken Griffey's kid? Ken Griffey's kid was probably a first-round draft pick? Yeah, sure, of course he was. That stands to reason. A dude who had 2,000 hits in his career and played for the Seattle Mariners is Edgar Martinez. A dude who had 2,000 hits in his career and played for the Cleveland Guardians is Manuel Ramirez. Saw a video of his kid yesterday. Would you believe it? Manny Ramirez's kid has a swing that looks an awful lot like Manny Ramirez. Which is good, because Manny Ramirez had one of the prettiest baseball swings in... The thing that makes baseball great is that there are so many unique ways for a person to do it, and it works. And that goes to pitching styles and ballpark designs and the way you swing the bat. There are some swings that are just ugly and janky as fuck, but they work. And there are some swings that are just fucking things of beauty to behold. And there are few things in sport as pretty as Manny Ramirez fucking destroying a hanging curveball. I saw a video last night of Manny Ramirez's kid fucking destroying a hanging curveball. It brought back some good memories. Anyway, St. Louis Cardinal who played for the Seattle Mariners is Jamie Moyer? I don't think Jamie Moyer was a Cardinal. I do think Jamie Moyer was a Cub, but now I'm afraid that I'm wrong about that. But I've already been wrong about something else today, so fuck it. Jamie Moyer was totally a Cub. Also, this is one of those moments where you get an insight into the kind of baseball fan who plays the Immaculate Grid. 41% of the people who have gotten this square used Jamie Moyer to do it. What the fuck? Dude who played for the Guardians and the Cubs is, I believe, Paul Ossenmacher. Paul Ossenmacher was a Guardian and a Cub. And now, let us name a St. Louis Cardinal. Dude who played for the Cardinals and the Guardians. Jason Kipnis was a Cub. Thank you, Sports Pun. Whenever Goog names Paul Ossenmacher, Sam's like, Mark Zepchinski? Yeah, Mark Zepchinski. Sure. Hold on. There's a Z there. Mark Zepchinski was a Cardinal and a Guardian. He was a Cardian. Oh, we failed in the middle. Well, we didn't even get to the middle square because of the first game. Apparently, Tino Martinez played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Raise your hand if you knew that Tino Martinez played for the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, well, Sam, of course. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. The plan is that we will be back on Twitch later this evening for Cyberpunk 2077. However, I do have a job that is technically scheduled to go from 10 to 6, and listen, if it actually goes from 10 to 6, I ain't gonna want to be on this computer any fucking more. So, we'll see. Check the Discord, as always, for updates, and I will see you when next I see you. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.